This is 4 roles of a coach in different sports. First role is a role of a friend. A role of a friend is to be trustworthy to the players. For example, if an athlete is going to their running training, they need to be able to trust their coach to do a drill that is relevant to them and sprinting. They also need to be helpful and help the athletes at any time in their careers, whether they are playing well or not. Both the athlete and the coach need to have respect for one another, but this needs to be earned. For example, a hockey player needs to earn their respect by playing well under their manager and working hard in their game. A friend should also be supportive and support them, whether it's watching, congratulating them, or being critical in a respectful way. There are positives and negatives of having a friend as a coach. One positive of having a friend as a coach is that you will listen to them more as you have a lot of respect for them. This will then mean that you will learn from what they are saying more. A sporting example of this would be: in a basketball match, if your coach tells you to shoot less 3-pointers and shoot more 2-pointers, then you are more likely to listen to them and score more points. Another positive of this is that you respect their decisions that they make on the pitch. For example, in a hockey match, if they sub you off, you then trust them that it's nothing to do personally and that it is for the team. Also, having a friend as a coach means that you will enjoy playing under them and have fun. This then means that you will then turn up to all of your cricket sessions as you enjoy being there. The last positive is that you want to impress them when playing, so then you will try harder and play better. A sporting example of this would be: in your 400 meters training, you stay after for an extra hour working on your sprint starts. However, there are negatives to having a friend as a coach, one being that they always pick you for matchday squads, which will then lead to you not working hard for your position at match days. For example, you don't turn up to your rugby training, but you are still involved in the starting 15 over the players that did train. Another negative is that they don't want to annoy you by pushing you harder, so they don't. A sporting example of this is: in a football match, if you are not working back to get the ball after losing it, and your manager doesn't tell you off for it, they can also not be serious enough when you need them to be. For example, when playing in a tennis county cup final, your manager is laughing and joking around with you instead of being serious and getting you prepared before the match. My last negative for having a friend as a coach is that the other players can get annoyed by this as it's favouritism, and this will then affect the team morale. For example, when a manager is always picking you for the game, even if you are not playing well and others are playing better than you. My second role is a role model. A role model is someone who is looked up to by someone and inspires them to succeed like they did in a certain sport. This then motivates the athlete to go as far as their role model did, as they see how happy they are and want to follow their footsteps and be as happy as them. A sporting example of this would be Kylian Mbappe in football. He is pictured here with Cristiano Ronaldo when a young boy, and he is now playing at the same World Cup and in winning the World Cup. A role model also leads by example and sets a good standard of how to act on and off the pitch. There are positives and negatives for having a role model. A positive having a role model would be that they give you a goal to aim for. For example, this would be wanting to be as successful as Usain Bolt in 100 meter sprinting. Another would be when seeing them be successful will make you want to succeed like them. For example, if an athlete saw Cristiano Ronaldo win the Ballon d'Or in football and been very happy, you would want the same and to be as happy as him. You will also see them train hard, which would then make you train hard yourself. For example, if you watched videos of Dan Biggar in rugby kicking in training, then trying to copy him by doing the same. The last positive is when watching your role model play. This can then improve your own game. For example, if you watch Ben Stokes in cricket doing different batting techniques for different shots and then trying to do the same as him and improving your own shots. Despite all this, there are also some negatives to having a role model. One being if you reach your goal of becoming as good as them, this can then resist you from progressing on further. For example, a 100 meter sprinter having Usain Bolt as their role model and then beating Usain Bolt in a 100 meter sprint. Another negative would be that a role model can set a bad example. For example, if a footballer watched Ronaldo get sent off for elbowing an opponent in the face, the footballer could then copy him and get himself sent off. Not many females can get role models either. Female sport isn't televised as much as male sport, which then resists them from getting a role model. For example, men's football is televised every week on multiple channels. but women's TV is rarely televised, and when it is, it's only because it's a big game. My third role is a motivator. A motivator is someone who encourages someone and pushes them to be their best. For example, if a hockey player kept on missing all of their shots on goal, a motivator would be positive towards them and say, "Don't worry, you will score the next one," instead of having a go at them and knocking their confidence. For when an athlete is in bad form and low on confidence, they then need their motivator to inspire them to improve and carry on and not just give up. They need to help them through this and support them whenever they need it. A motivator can also help an athlete when they are being successful by praising them or rewarding them. This will then make the athlete want to keep succeeding as they enjoy getting praised and receiving rewards. There are also positives and negatives of having a motivator. One positive of having a motivator would be that they will work you hard so you can be your best. This is good as they won't let you slack at any cricket trainings or games, so then you become a better cricket player. It is also good as they can help you get your confidence back if you are in bad form. For example, if you are not scoring as many tries in your recent rugby games as you were, they can show you footage of you scoring tries earlier in that season and remind you of how good you actually are. They will also always encourage you and not get you down, so they can also be like having a friend supporting you in your netball games when you are playing and also help you improve. When performing well, the motivator will be very rewarding afterwards, which will boost your confidence and want to make you continue performing well so you get more rewards from them. Despite this, there are also negatives to having a motivator. One being that there is a chance that they will give up on you and stop motivating you, which will knock your confidence and be hard to come back from. For example, if you are training in the gym and your motivator tells you that there's no point in helping you, this will make you feel like there isn't any point in you trying anymore. Another negative would be that they could give you the wrong motivation at the wrong time. This will then lead to you getting confused and won't benefit you or your performance and can stop you from playing well. For example, before a football final, they can be motivating you to become a better passer of the ball, when really you should be preparing for your game and getting ready. They also won't be able to commit to all of your games and trainings, so if you have a bad performance or need help on something, that they won't be able to help you all the time as they aren't there and won't be able to see what needs helping with. For example, if they miss your football game and don't see that you were offside too much and this stopped you from scoring, and they won't be able to help you with this, they might also be too passionate towards motivating you, which could scare you and stop you from playing to your best ability. My final role is a trainer. There are many roles of being a trainer, and there are many different types of trainers. For the sake of the athlete, the trainer has to be positive towards them, no matter what happens, because if the trainer starts to lose faith and be negative towards them, the athletes will too. This would then lead to athletes to not improving, which is the trainer's job. For example, if a netball team lost their first game of the season, you would want your trainer to look at what went wrong and work on them instead of being negative and shouting at you for what you did wrong. A trainer also needs to motivate the athletes before a game, especially if they have lost the previous one. If a player ever needs their trainer with their sport, they always need them to be helpful and support them as much as possible with whatever they need help with. A trainer also needs to be tactical with certain players, with what they say and do. For example, if an athlete is low on confidence, the trainer needs to support them and improve them as a player without being too critical and knocking their confidence more. There are also positives and negatives of having a trainer. One positive of having a trainer is that as an athlete you will always have someone to give you feedback on your performance. For example, if you are playing in a football match, your trainer can give you feedback on how you performed and what you did well, as you wouldn't be able to give yourself your own feedback. This will then also mean that you as a player can improve and will help you on your weaknesses. From seeing you play, your trainer can also give you advice on what muscle strengths you need to improve on to help your performance specific to your sport and position. A trainer is also able to deliver in the game tactical knowledge. For example, if you're playing in a rugby match and your trainer sees that the opposition have a player that is weak at tackling, they can tell you to target them so that you are able to break through the line and score a try. Having a trainer can be good in lots of ways, but also has negative sides to it as well. For example, when giving you feedback on your performance, they can be very critical of you and be negative. This can then knock your confidence and stop you from performing. For example, if you're playing in a basketball match and you keep missing all your 2-pointers, instead of encouraging you and helping you to improve in training, they can tell you you are rubbish and that there's no more point in even bothering. Your trainer might not always be able to watch every game, so then they won't be able to give you feedback on all of your performances. This also won't help if you rely on them too much and aren't able to be independent learning and improve your own game on your own. A trainer can also get things wrong and give you the wrong information. For example, in a football match, when you're playing as a defender, they can say how you didn't score enough, which isn't actually part of your game and what you are supposed to do. This has been my 4 roles of a coach in different sports.